The key is to build a strong foundation and surround yourself with a team that shares your vision. Hello, and welcome back to the Blissful Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Christina Hall, and I am so grateful you're tuning in today. In 2019 and 2022, I baby-proofed my small business to not only run without me, but to thrive without me, allowing me to take 2 4-month maternity leaves to be with my babies. Now I'm on a mission to help you do the same. If you caught episode 25, you might know that I recently had my last official teaching day at the studio. This means that aside from the occasional pop-in to pick up money or drop off supplies, I no longer need to physically be there. I can now handle all my work from home, which means I can get my daughter off the bus each day, enjoy dinner with my family, and tuck my kids in at bedtime. Achieving this balance was a goal I set for myself 5 years ago, and now it's a reality. Back in 2019, this was just a dream. My business was heavily dependent on me being there every day. But in 2020, I started working with a business coach who introduced me to the concept of replacing yourself every 6 months. At first, I was skeptical. Was he really saying that every responsibility I had in the business should be handed off to someone else after just 6 months? It turns out that's exactly what he was saying. While I didn't manage to offload everything in that time frame, the shift in mindset fundamentally changed how I approach my role. While working from home sounds ideal, it does come with its own challenges. One of the biggest is relying on my team to keep the operations running smoothly without being physically present. In 2019, I didn't have the right systems, communication channels, or checks and balances in place to confidently step away from the studio every day. And today, I'm going to share the system that I've developed over the last 5 years and how I communicate with my team to ensure everything runs smoothly and each team member is well supported. One of the critical steps I took when I began stepping away from the day-to-day operations was getting clear on our mission and values. Having a clear mission and values became the compass that guided me forward, ensuring that every decision aligned with our vision. This clarity allowed me to attract and hire team members who shared our values, making it easier to set clear expectations from the start. Personally, I hate confrontation, so I prefer hiring people who are aligned with our values rather than having many of those tough conversations later on because someone wasn't meeting my expectations. When I did this work, tools like ChatGPT weren't around, but if I were starting today, I'd use it to ask me questions one by one that help me discover my mission and values. This process requires a lot of reflection and self-discovery. I looked at my own music journey and also my favorite student success stories to come up with our mission. I also reflected on things that bother me to help identify our core values. Often, what frustrates us is actually a core value. So just so you have an example of what a mission sounds like and what values could be, I'm going to share our mission and values. So our mission is to nurture individual expression and build confidence to ignite true passion. And our 4 core values are foster meaningful connection, build trust, communicate clearly, and exhibit superb reliability. Now, let's talk about how we communicate as a team. We use the free version of Slack for our team-wide internal communication. I love how it connects the entire team. We have different channels, some public, some private. Like, for example, we have a private channel for just the administrative team. We also have private channels for each teacher that give them direct access to an admin. So for example, I'm just going to make up a name, say Mary is one of our teachers. In that Slack channel, we have Mary, the two admins, along with myself. So the four of us are in this like one private channel, which is just so great because anything pertaining to that teacher, the teacher sees it and then all the admins see it. We also have public channels. We have one for all of the teachers and then another one for the entire team. Since I'm a member of all of these channels, I see almost every message, which keeps me in the loop about what's happening in the studio daily. The only thing I don't see are the direct messages between team members, but that's entirely fine because I love that they're able to connect with each other and offer assistance to each other. One of my favorite Slack features is the ability to schedule messages. When I'm working at 5 a.m., I can schedule a message for later that won't wake anyone up. This is also helpful for batching work that needs to be sent at a particular time. Another great feature is the ability to snooze a message for later. Sometimes I'll receive a Slack message that requires more than just a response. So I can snooze it for later in the day or the next day so I don't forget. In addition to Slack, we use the free version of Asana with just the admin team. Asana allows us to create, schedule, and assign tasks to each team member. If something is urgent, we'll use Slack, but if it can wait, we'll assign it in Asana. I also have a business email that my team can use, but they typically only email me if they want to forward me an email. Otherwise, Slack and Asana are our main communication tools. For years, I didn't share my personal phone number because I really wanted to keep my work life and personal life separate, but now my team is so good at using Slack and I've kind of relaxed on that. I find that if they need to chat with me over the phone, they'll typically just send me a Slack message and then we'll set up a time to talk. As part of our onboarding process, I have an email sequence that goes out to all new hires that clearly outlines how we communicate as a team. Since we introduced this, everyone effortlessly adopts our system. In addition to maintaining ongoing open communication, I also schedule regular check-ins with each team member. Once a month, I meet with my admins. Once a quarter, with my teachers, and I have one-to-one check-ins with every team member every quarter. This approach has evolved over the years, and initially we had no meetings, which left me feeling very disconnected from everything that was going on. Then we had too many meetings. There was a period of time where we were doing about 10 meetings a month, which felt really inefficient, and I found that we were really wasting everyone's time. Now I feel like we found a really nice Goldilocks zone, a really nice balance. There's just enough time between meetings for meaningful discussions, and my team feels supported and heard. And I just feel like I have a good sense of what's going on in the business. For more on the one-to-one check-ins, check out episode 12. In that episode, I really dive into my entire check-in system, the benefits of those check-ins, how I conduct them, and all those fun details. One area where I wish I had been more proactive was setting up protocols for emergencies and unforeseen issues. Particularly, I would have liked to have done this before my maternity leaves, but nevertheless, we now have many of these protocols in place. If you're preparing for maternity leave, I highly recommend investing time in creating resources and systems for handling emergencies. These emergencies could include technology failures, teachers being late or absent, team members calling out sick, customer complaints, building issues like power outages or leaks, payment issues, and health emergencies. Just to give you an idea of how to handle some of these emergencies, we have a safety handbook which outlines protocols for health-related emergencies. And we also have a separate system for handling team member absences. Additionally, everyone has a key to the studio, so this ensures that everyone can access the space even if someone else is late or sick. We also handle payment issues through an established system, and any building problems are reported to me via Slack, and then I either address them myself if I am able to, or I contact my landlord. Thankfully, none of these emergencies arose while I was on maternity leave, but had they, it would have meant I would have needed to take time away from being with my family to address those issues. So if you can put these protocols in place in advance of a maternity leave, it's just going to make things move so much more smoothly. So there you have it. How to set up your business for success even when you're not physically present. From defining your mission and values to establishing effective communication channels and preparing for emergencies, these steps can help you create a resilient business that thrives whether you're on maternity leave or working from home. Remember, the key is to build a strong foundation and surround yourself with a team that shares your vision. By investing time in planning and creating clear systems, you can ensure smooth operations and maintain balance in your life. If you found today's episode helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to DM me on Instagram at the Blissful Mompreneur and let me know your biggest takeaway. And if you enjoyed the show, please share it with a fellow mompreneur who might benefit from this advice. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and leave a comment below letting me know your biggest takeaway. It helps me reach more amazing women just like you. Thank you again for being here, and until next time, keep pursuing your bliss.